Everyone, I hope you're doing good and welcome to day 2 of Postman API Fundamentals Student Expert Certification. I hope you're doing good and you participated in the social media challenge of day 1. Really excited to see you here again, and we are going to get started right into today's workshop. But before that, I asked you a question on day 1 about status code 418. If you did remember that, let me know in the chat what does that mean. Meanwhile, I'll share my screen and quickly get started. By the way, let's do a hi in the chat before we get started. Obviously, I want to know if you're here or not. Yeah, 418, anyone? No? Yeah, I'll show you. See, so this is like my favorite t-shirt, 418. Says I am a teapot. It's a very funny status code in the world of status codes. So let me go ahead, quickly share my screen, and let's get started with day 2 today. Awesome. So on day 1, we studied about basics about APIs. We went ahead and did a lot of hands-on. I'll do a quick review of that later on, and like kind of did everything. And in day 2, our goal is to kind of finish the certification itself, right? But before that, very important part, right, which is the winners of social media challenge of day 1. So super congratulations to all that who participated and won on day 1. If you did not win on day 1, don't worry and don't get disheartened. We have a challenge for today as well. So if you go here on the Notion page, if you scroll down a little bit, you will see winners of social media challenge day 1 announced right here. Go ahead and check your name if you have won the prize. Remember, don't get disheartened if you do not see your name right there, because I have a challenge for you to participate today as well. And today we have like a bigger kit to give away. So I'm going to announce that, at the very end of the workshop. So stay tuned till the very end so that you know about the challenge for today. By the way, congratulations. Let's spam congratulation emojis in the chat for all the people who won. I'm also going to kind of, put that in the chat so that you can directly see it. The team has already put it in, but yeah, in case you're not able to see it yet, it is on the same document which you're following on day 1. Super awesome. So yeah, that's the winners. Please don't, message again and again. Where are the winners? Where are the winners? The winners are on the Notion page itself. Okay. So if someone asks, please, send them this link right away in the chat. Okay. And let me focus on the workshop. Cool. Now you can see I've also added a start of day 2 link right here. So remember, if you did not attend day 1, this is your chance to kind of go back and attend day 1, because without that, day 2 is useless, because we are continuing whatever we learned in day 1, and building on top of that. So if you have not attended yet, please go ahead and complete the registration, watch the video of day 1, and then come back to this video. I'll absolutely recommend this to kind of do that day 1 first. That way you will understand it much more better way. Okay. So yeah, let's get started on day 2. You can see the Academy link posted right here. So I'm going to go to the Academy link, and this will open the variables in Postman section. Listen. So let me close other tabs, obviously. And this is the tab which is open right now. And I'm going to kind of continue working from here. Obviously, I need to open Postman. So go to the new tab and type postman.com. Now you might have already seen I've given that link also in case you want to open it right there. You can see postman.com kind of opened up. Now here, what we are doing is we will go to the workspace which we created earlier, which is called as Postman API Fundamentals Student Expert. So we are going to use the same workspace which we used, to kind of walk along, right? You can see Postman Library API, V2. We have these requests which we created on day 1. So what did we do in day 1? We went ahead, got a book, got a lot of books. Then we kind of got fiction books. We filtered out books. We added 2 query params there. And then we kind of, got a single book by ID, the unique UOU ID. using a path param. And then we went ahead and added a book. Now, when we added a book, we also wanted to add authorization. So we went ahead and did a collection level authorization. So yeah, I hope you saved everything yesterday as I emphasized it a lot, because without that, you'll not see all of these requests. And that's a bummer. So make sure you have saved all the requests. If not, then you'll have to go back and do these again. Cool. So we talked about variable earlier, right? What was the whole goal about variables? To not repeat ourselves, right? So DRY, don't repeat yourself. So the whole idea is that we want to kind of go ahead and create variables which we can reuse again and again. And we saw that how variables play an important role, where we could kind of go ahead and name it, let's say, base URL, and then reuse it again and again in different requests. So let's learn more about variables as we move further into the advanced section of Postman. Now, one more thing which is very important apart from variables is scripting. What does scripting means? If you have ever wrote any single program, you're familiar with scripting, because it's nothing but programming. So you write small script of JavaScript code within Postman, within the request, and it will get executed let's say before the request is sent or after the request is sent. Totally depends on how you want to do it. So we have two tabs called as pre-request and post-request, and you can kind of go ahead and use the scripting there. Now, what is the use of scripts? Basically, you could, try to do, let's say, some action before you send that request, or you can write some test after the request is sent so that you know if the request was successful or not. Apart from the status code, you could check for a particular, variable or a particular item in the response, or you could see how much millisecond it takes for, the request to execute. So there are multiple use cases of that. So you will actually see one use case, today. So the idea is that we have scripting and we have variables. Now, what we want to do is we want to combine, or we want to write a script which could set a variable programmatically. Now that will allow us to, open a whole new era of automation, because now we are manually setting variables. So let's assume that we add a book, we get the unique ID, we save this unique ID in a variable named ID. So now we can use this ID variable to fetch that book, to delete that book, to update that book without manually copy pasting it. Sounds interesting? Let's go ahead and do that. So here you can see a very simple scripting, which we have added here. So let's go ahead to Postman, and inside that, let's go to add book request. Here you can go to scripts, and you can actually, it should be empty for you. I have actually, done this, so you will actually see a script right here. But it should be empty for you. It should look, like this. Now, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and add some script here. So you can go to Academy and you can copy this console.log. Now, console.log is nothing but it will log whatever you are basically sending. It will just log it on the console and show you the output. So let me zoom this out, hit send, and it will do nothing else, but it will log that into the console. Now is the console on the bottom. You can see the console, and you will actually see it logged that output which we just kind of mentioned. So this is very simple script. Again, you don't have to do this because it's a demo, but the next script is what you will have to write to kind of pass the lesson. But this is a very simple demo where you can access the response using the PM object, and you could do a lot more things. By the way, as I mentioned yesterday, we have a lot of, I have a video of me in every lesson. So in case I'm a little faster, you can actually watch the video as well. Kind of Inception, watching a video of me inside a video of me. Yeah. So you can see the example right here, which we mentioned. So let's go ahead and grab this new ID and set this programmatically so that it works, like we can use that ID later on. Now for that we are going to use dot set method. So that is going to set that value into whatever variable name which we give it. So let's go ahead and do that. Now this is the script which is given. Let's copy this and I'll explain this in a moment. So let's copy this. Let's go here and paste it in the scripting tab. Now, if you look at here carefully, you can see that, constant ID pm.response.json. So you know this because we logged this, just before this, line of code. So it will give you the whole response. It will just, kind of allow you to have the whole response. But if you look at, dot ID, it means that it is not just going to, access everything in the response, but it is going to only access the ID and, keep it in the variable named ID. And then it will set a collection level variable named as ID and save this value inside of it. Now, without much jittering, let's save this request and send this. They'll be like, okay, what changed? Well, something changed. That something basically, is like you. If you go ahead and if you click on the collection name, you can actually see what exactly changed, right? Let me quickly show you that. So if you go back to the name of the collection, click on Postman Library API v2, you will actually see the variables tab. And there you saw the base URL which we set yesterday, but you will see the new variable created ID, and this ID is what we created just right now. So it will update to the latest ID whenever we run that request because it's dynamic. That's what variables are for, right? So make sure you save this right before you move further. And yeah, scripting is done. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you have done this and you see a new variable called as ID. Cool, cool. Oh, where do you see that variable? Absolutely. Click on the name of the collection on the left. Let me use, the pen which we was using yesterday. So if you go ahead and click on the collection name itself, and then if you go ahead and click on variables, you will actually see the ID variable right there. Yeah, I'm bad with pens. So let me draw this once again. And this is dynamically generated ID, right? It's not something which we manually updated. So whatever we got in the response, we just updated that value right here. Where's the code? The code is in Academy, folks. Remember, we are using Academy as a reference point. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. I see a lot of thumbs up, so it's time to move to the very next lesson. Now we have done almost everything and we are almost done 75%. So here we will have a halfway test before we proceed further. Now halfway test will basically reinforce whatever we were doing, and it will allow us to kind of, check our progress and tell us if we are doing everything right or if we are doing everything wrong. Because ultimately, this is the collection which we want to submit to get our Badger badge. So let's go ahead and do this. Now for that, what we need to do is learn about collaboration. Now Postman is a collaborative platform. Now when I say that, I mean it because we want you to collaborate with one another. And let's say if someone has created a collection, you might want to use it. You can go ahead and create a copy of that collection and do a lot more. So that's what exactly we are going to do. So if you go to step number one, which is to fork the test collection. So click on this collection link and it will open in a new tab. And you can see that it is test your collection basically, right? So we want to go ahead and test this collection. Now, if you go here and click on test collection, I can actually see you folks active right here. There will be, as more people join, I can see more people active. And that's true collaboration, right? So if you go here, you can see the test collection and you can see halfway check, final check, and submit. Now we need to create a copy of this collection in our own workspace. And I told you, Postman allows you to be collaborative. So let's go ahead and click on fork button, which will allow us to create a copy of this inside our own workspace. Now again, I'm showing you, so I'll quickly draw it. So this is the test collection and this is the fork button, right? Just click on it. Now, if you click on it, it will open a new UI, and that UI, would actually tell you to add a label. Now, the label is basically, allowing you to distinguish between the parent and the child which you're creating. But do you know forking? Have you heard about it before? Assume you have. If you have ever worked with GitHub, you will know what fork means, right? So yeah, you can see forking creates a copy of the collection and enable you to perform changes without affecting the original one. But you can also, it's completely version control. So you can create a pull request, you can actually merge changes. So you can do a lot more, not just, create fork. So in the workspace dropdown, select the workspace which you are working in, which is Postman API Fundamental Student Expert, right? And click on fork collection. Now what that will do is create a copy of this collection into our workspace. So you can see, the copy is created and we can go ahead and we can, kind of walk around with test collection. Awesome. So now what I want you to do is observe very, very carefully. So do it till here and give me a thumbs up in the chat. So create a 4 copy of this collection and give me a thumbs up in the chat, and then I'll show you what to do next. Oh, where's the link? It's there in the academy. If you check step number 1, it's there. Step number 2 will actually prompt you to directly create a 4 copy. That is also nice. So you can try doing that also. There's another way of creating fork is this, which you can also opt for. Nice, nice. Done, done. Yeah, I'll take a sip of water till then and let me know if you're done or not. Done? Awesome. Okay. So now observe this part very, very carefully, folks, because this is very much important. So what I want you to do is let me zoom this in a little bit so that you can actually see. Now hover over Postman Library API v2, click on these 3 dots and click on the share option, which is the very first option. Okay. So again, go to Postman Library API v2, click on these 3 buttons and click on the very first option, which is the share option. Click on it. Once you click on it, it will open a menu and it will show you 3 options with people, via run in Postman and via API. I want you to select via API and then it will tell you to generate a key. For my collection, I just generated it for checking it, but you will see a generate a key option. Now click on that and it will generate a unique key like it did for me. And then copy this URL. Now it's very important because we are going to use this to call an API and literally use this to submit everywhere. So remember to generate your own key and copy this URL. Cancel this, come back to collection test, go to variables, and inside that paste it in the initial value and in the current value. Set. Now here there is a submission variable. Obviously we are going to use variables because we learned about them, right? So we want to do halfway check. We also want to do final check, right? So we need to, save them in a variable. Should I repeat it once again? By the way, it's a live, so you could kind of rewind a little bit and actually see it again. I don't have to repeat, but yeah. Okay. So if you go to Postman Library API v2, click on these 3 dots, click on share via API, and then generate key. Copy this URL, come back to collection test. Like let me highlight this. So this is the test collection. Within that, there's variable. Within that, there's submission variable, right? And you have to paste it in the current and the initial value. Make sure you hit the save button before we go ahead and do something else. Awesome. Let's go to halfway check and just run it. Don't do anything, just run it. Now, if you have done everything right, you will see the test results as 16 on 16. So in the response, till now we have been looking at other responses, but this time you have to look at test results and you will see 16 on 16. If you see 16 on 16, it means you have done everything right. Give a pat on your back because you are following along really, really well. But if you see anything less than that, it means you have either not saved the request, you're not following along properly, or you're missing instructions, right? Which is fairly okay. Don't stress out. So you can see, you can click on failed if you are actually not able to see 16 on 16. If you are, give me, like in the chat, how much score you got, right? So if you got whatever score you got out of 16, share it in the chat. But yeah, so we can see that we are on the very right track. You just need to run the halfway check request, by the way, right? So once you run this request, you will, you just hit send and you run it and you see the outcome. Awesome. Now let me show you a scenario where I don't get 16 on 16, right? So in a case where like I'm creating this hypothetical situation, please don't do that. You don't do that. I will I'm just creating a scenario to kind of show you how that error looks like, right? So if you go to halfway check and if you run it, you will see that okay, I'm failing one test. Now what is the test I'm failing? It says get book is failure and the path should be book. And then you can see that the test itself says the fix is the path should be like this and it is like this, right? So this is what it is having right now, and this is what it should look like. So you can see that the book's spelling is wrong, and that's why it is failing the test. Now, let me show you something more interesting. So I told you about Notion, right, earlier? And in Notion, you saw that there is also a Discord community. Did you join that already? If you did not, I'll highly, highly recommend, because let me quickly show you, on the Discord server, how we actually treat, these errors. So what I want you to obviously see is if you go back here in Postman and you copy this, error message which says fix path, you just copy this error message. You can go back to Discord and troubleshoot it. So this is Discord server. If you can actually see here, you can see in Discord server we have API fundamentals, dedicated section, dedicated FAQ. You can go on the top and you can search for this. And if you kind of go ahead and if you search for it, you will actually see the exact error message which you are getting. So you can see you can see get books, so it belongs to get books, and if you come down here you can see exactly the error you were looking at, right? So yeah, you can see for all the requests what are the error messages, and how you can troubleshoot it. You can ask your queries right here if you are receiving any errors, and we'll be more than happy to solve it actually. Yeah. So yeah, that is your support system if you're not receiving 16 on 16, but if you are, then that's awesome. We also have a very, very awesome, if you go here, we also have a very awesome FAQ. So if you scroll down all the way down, you will see there is, a detailed FAQ right here, which you can actually check out, right? So if you open the FAQ in the new tab, you can see, submission errors or detailed FAQ for each method. So you can see what is the fix it is telling you. So I told you to copy that fix, and you can see the fixes to make sure the path is set to /books and verify the value of base URL is set to this, right? So in our case, we know that this is the error. So let's go there and let's, make the collection, save the request. And if I do halfway check again, looks like I'm passing 16 on 16. Nice. Now, if you do the final check again, and if you check that, you can see that it says 16 on 28, which basically means that, we are still a long way to go. So we have to, clear a lot more, test. And you can see, obviously, they belong to checkout book and delete book and skill check, which we are going to do right now. So don't worry about it. Okay. But you can see, if you see an error like this, cannot find property, it means it does not exist. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue our quest to get, the badge. Perfect. I see some chatter in the chat. Please look at the FAQ, folks. FAQ is very, very important. So yeah, to resolve the errors, look at the FAQ, look at the Discord server itself. Awesome. Last quiz. This is the last quiz, available in the course. It's only one question because after this, the course almost ends and there's a practical exercise, and then there's badge. So, last question to sign. Start quiz. Choose all that answers that apply. Postman allows you to save values as variables so that you can spend time reading API first world, reuse values to keep your work dry, cool off your computer, hide sensitive values like API key from being shared publicly. Yes, give me your answers. Oh yeah, second, B and D. Nice. Okay, let's hit submit quiz. And we got one on one, which is the right answer. Perfect. Now we are going to go ahead and update a book. So here we are going to update the checked out status from false to true, basically meaning that it was not taken earlier to now it is taken by someone. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Now if you scroll down a little, you can see the whole path and everything else is given. And we are going to make use of the variable ID, which we created in the previous step. See how useful the variables are. Let me close this FAQ. Let's click on add book. And here, what you need to do is you need to add a new request. Now, I know by now how to add a new request, obviously. So click on these three dots, click on add a request. Name it check out a book. Awesome. Now here, I need to update a book. Which method should I use to update book? Yes, yes, yes. Which method I need to update the book? Put or patch? Exactly. So here we are going to use patch because we are updating a part of the book, not the whole book. Okay. You can use them interchangeably though, but yeah, put is for the whole body and patch is for one part of the body. Now the URL, where are we going to get the URL from? If you come back here, you can see the URL is right here. Let's copy that and paste it here. Now it has a path param added, which we can go ahead and set. Here we need to obviously use the variable ID because the book which we added, we want to update the checkout status for that particular book. And ID already has that, ID, via the scripting. So let's save this. Now, do I need to provide anything else apart from this before I send the request? Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. I need to provide body, right? What I'm updating. So click on body, click on raw. And here we need to provide, what exactly we are updating. So let's go ahead and see here in the documentation, we are making checked out equal to true. So it's a very simple, field which we are updating and everything else will remain intact. So checked out equal to true. Save this and send this. As soon as I send, it will say 200. Okay. And you can see that the value of checked out has become true from false, which basically means it is no longer available and the book, is taken by someone else. Nice. Give me a thumbs up in the chat once you're done. See, it's very easy. APIs are very easy. Can you do the delete book request for me? Yeah. Delete book is very simple, by the way. You can, do it for me. Use delete method. The URL is almost same because, we want to provide an ID to, tell which book we want to delete. And then it will delete that book. Yes, yes, yes. Can you do that? Nice. I see a few people mentioning yes. Okay. Okay. So I'll give you like a minute to do it. And I'll also show you, for other people who are not able to, obviously, I'll show you how to do it. Okay. Nice. By the way, thank you so much for engaging. I really love and admire you folks for, also typing, listening, and doing everything at once. You folks are superheroes, or whatever favorite superhero you love. Okay. So let's do the delete book request. Okay. So we need to add it below checkout book. So add a request, name it delete book. The method is obviously going to be a delete method. Now the URL is exactly like this, so you don't need to go back and forth. But if you are missing it, you can actually see it in the instructions. And then in the ID, we need to provide the variable ID, which we kind of set earlier. Now, nothing else you need to provide, and you need to hit send. It will give you 204. Basically, it means it's a success because 200 family means success, but it does not give us any content in return, which is fine. So, yeah. Now, what happens if I run this again? Will it be fun? Let's run this again. If I send this again, what happens? You can see that it says 404 because we already deleted the book, right? So it no longer exists, and that's why it says 404. Yeah, nice. Okay. So let's go next, and I'll show you one important Postman feature or a useful Postman feature, which is generating code snippet. So let's say you went ahead and you wanted to write a program for delete a book, right? So what you could do is get a sample code from Postman. How do you do that? You can go here, on the Postman console. Let me use a pen to kind of show you how it looks like, so that you can actually see it in a better format. So let me go there, and here on the left hand side you will see this particular button. I'm drawing it big because why not. And if you click on that button, it will open the sample code window. So this is the button which you will actually see. Again, highlighting it once again for you folks to actually see it. This is the code button. And here you can select whatever language you want the sample code in. So you could select call, which is obviously by default. But if you are writing code in, let's say, Axios, you can just click that. It will give you a starter code, which is nice, when I'm doing uh, bigger request or complex request. The starter code is really, it comes really handy, isn't it? Awesome. Let's clear all this, and we are set. Yeah, don't ask your error, request in chat. If you're still getting, less than 16 in the previous one, don't worry about it. Go to the FAQ, go to the Discord server. Let's Upgrade also has this WhatsApp group which you can join. So join that, and that will be very, very helpful for you to solve your errors. Okay. Yeah, cool. So let's go ahead and check how much score we have right now. So you can see test collection, go to final check in test collection. And you can we saw that earlier you were scoring 16 out of 28. Let's run that again. Now, if you run that again, you can see that we are scoring 22 out of 28. So basically all the other requests which we were doing, that is passing properly. So it gives us 22 out of 28. But we need to fix these requests as well, obviously, which belong to skill check request. Like all these 6 tests belong to only one request. And that's your test, right? That's our final request, in the whole thing. So let's go ahead and let's, execute our final request. and claim our beloved badge. By the way, if you don't see 22 out of 28, it means that you did not save your checkout and delete book request. Obviously, you need to save that before you recheck it. Okay. Awesome. So now we need to make sure that the skill check is added in the very last, and make sure the pattern looks exactly like this, because if the requests are not in order, then that will be a problem for skill check and submission also. So make sure all the requests are in the exact order as mentioned here. If not, you can actually drag and drop them up and down. Okay. Okay. So task number one, make a request. So what you're doing is, we are testing your skills, and you're no longer a librarian. You're fired. Or, let me put it in a better way. You're promoted from librarian to, manage a movie API. And now you need to go ahead and create a request for, querying a movie API. And you have to do 6 tasks in that one request. So let's get ready. Task number one, make a request, name it skill check, and add it under delete book. Cool. Let's go here under delete book, go to 3 dots, add request, name it skill check. Nice. Um, Come back. The method is a post method, and this is the URL. So let's copy the URL, paste it. The method is a post method. Nice. Save it. So they asked us to create a request called a skill check. Done. Method post done. And the URL is added in the URL as given. Hit send, and it will return back whatever you send. So it's Postman Echo API, by the way. It will just return back whatever you are sending it. Really nice when you are actually framing something, or you need the demo API to work with. Now let's go to the final check and check if the first request is done. And you can see the first one is done. We are now 23 out of 28. Now I'll do 2 more, not check it again and again, do 2 more and check, and then do the final check. Okay. So task number one done successfully. Task number two. Now, before I move further, I would give you a minute to do it. So go ahead and do the task one, please. Swags. You folks love swags. Okay. Yeah, I also love swag. I'm not gonna deny it. So yeah. Nice. Done. Perfect. Give me a thumbs up. Or any emoji which you love now. So no longer thumbs up, your favorite emoji, spam that. Orange heart. Don't give me red hearts, okay? Yeah. Give me orange hearts, or give me, celebration. Not celebration. We are yet, 4 tests away. So we are not going to celebrate too early. Okay. Task number two, add a query param called as movie name. So query param, we know where to add query param, and it should set to your favorite movie. Okay. So let's go to query param. Obviously, let's add a query param called as movie name. Make sure it is case sensitive. So it is exactly like that, camel case. And the value is going to be our favorite movie. Tell me your favorite movie. For me, my favorite movie is Interstellar. I just keep watching it again and again and again because it's just so interesting and amazing. Another movie I love is Inception. Inception is also very nice. I really like it. What about you folks? Yeah, apart from Hollywood, I obviously love a lot of Bollywood films like Tumbad. If you have watched it, it's about greed. A really nice movie. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna add Tumbad. Let's go with Indian movie this time. In Bollywood, hit send, and it will send that argument. And return it back. Awesome. Cool. Then comes, the next step, which is turn your base URL into a variable. Okay. So we need to replace this thing with a collection and variable named skill check base URL. That's a big ass URL. So let's copy the whole, variable name. Make sure you copy the whole variable name. Let's go back here and from .com. Remember the last time, right? We did this. Come on, remember it. Okay. So how do we set a variable name? Very simple it is. You go here, copy from M till the H, and then click on set as variable. And here you need to click on set as new variable, name it skill check based URL. Scope is going to be collection level, set variable. Nice. Save this. Again, nothing changes. It's just a new variable which we created. So step number 3, done. Okay. Now step number 4 is to use API key. But before that, let's check if we are on the right path, right? So hit send. Nice. We just need to add 3 more items, and then we are good. Okay. Let's go back to skill check academy. Task number 4. The movie theater API requires the request to be authorized. Add a API key of student expert and a value of skill check at request level authorization tab. Now, very important, not collection level. They are asking us to add it on the request level. So let's do that. Let's go here. Request level authorization is here. So I'll just highlight it for you. You can see the authorization right here. Click on it. And you can see by default, it inherits their authorization from the parent. But apparently they say you don't need it from parents. So we are going to go ahead and select API key. The key is going to be a student dash expert, and the value is a skill check. If I'm not wrong, check it once again. The key is student dash expert and the value is a skill check. Nice. Okay. Save this, send this. Cool. So that's one more done. Now it's final 2 remaining. Add a JSON body with property name actor name. Okay. And set the value to any actor from the movie you chose in step 2. Go to body, click on raw. Obviously, I want to add it right here in the skill check. Bracket open. What is the key? The key is actor name. And the value is going to be our favorite actor from the movie. Now, see, this is where I am, not good, not good in remembering actor names or movie, character names much. So, yeah, I'm going to, just go with one of my favorite actors, Leonardo. Okay. Uh, yeah, you can select Salman Khan if you if you like him or anyone else, just don't select weird actor names. Okay. Save this, go ahead, hit a send button, and you can see it returns args, it returns data, which we kind of pass it. Nice. Final test. So the final test is to kind of set the variable using a post response script, exactly like we did earlier, right? We kind of got the ID and we saved it in a variable called as ID. So here they're asking us to get the actor name and save it in a variable called as a favorite actor. Okay. Um, Now we have to write this from scratch. You know, if you don't love programming, don't worry. I'm going to help you, you know, pass this test easily. Don't tell anyone. Okay. Let's go to scripts, and post response script is where we need to write, the test. Now, one thing I want to show you is obviously, if you kind of go here, you will see on the right hand side in the scripting, there is a small icon called as postbot. Now, if you click on that icon, if you're not able to see it, let me highlight it right here. You can see this icon called as postbot. Now, obviously, I don't want you to use ChatGPT, but instead you can use Postbot because Postbot does exactly that, right? But for Postman. So you can see that I can autocomplete test, help you work faster. It will give you a prompt if you're using it for the first time. It will give you a prompt saying that do you want to use Postspot? You can just accept it and move further to this particular window. And here we can give it basically, a message and it can do that for us. You know where I'm heading? Yeah. So I'm going to give it a prompt to help me write the script. So here you can see, by the way, they have given us the prompt, which makes half the work easy. I don't even have to write the prompt. Okay. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to copy the prompt from write a script to here, which looks like a perfect prompt to me. Again, I'll highlight this from write a script to your favorite actor. Looks like a perfect prompt to me, right? So let's go ahead and copy that. Nice. Let's go back to Postman and tell Postbot to do this. Let's hope Postbot is able to help us. Oh, so it has given us a different approach, which is like it has written a test for us. We don't actually need a test. So sometimes it gives us the right answer, sometimes it doesn't. This time it has not given us, it has given us, somewhat a right answer. But this is not, what I was expecting. Let's try again. Nice. Okay. So it is writing a test. We don't need a test. Okay. So I'll just remove the first part and the last part and the comments. So this is how the you know whole thing should look like. Okay. So it should look like this and it should look like this. Um so what we are doing is we are getting the response and then we are getting from data actor name and saving it in a variable. Remember, we don't need to add a test because that will disturb the whole testing itself, but this is the code of how it looks like. Yeah, sometimes it adds a test which is not accepted because we did not ask it to add a test. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this is how the code looks like. Okay, so again, explaining the code, very simple. We are accessing the body, pm.response.json, and from that we need to set favorite actor as a variable. So we're using the set method to do that. We are accessing the data, and in that data the actor name from the response, and then saving that in the favorite actor variable which we just created. Nice. So that's the code explanation. I hope it is pretty much clear. And yeah, it's very similar to the one which we wrote in AdBooks, so not a problem. Send the request and nothing changes. Why? Because it creates a new variable. So let's go to collection and you can see the new variable called as favorite actor created. Nice. Go to final check, send this again, and yay, we have passed all the test. So we see 28 out of 28. Now, if you see that, then it basically means you have, completed the course almost 99%. Okay, but no congratulations yet, because you're very close. Okay, it's all the tests are passing, but we still need to submit it. Okay. So yeah, congratulations if you pass 28 out of 28, but we still have a little bit of workshop left because we don't need to claim our badge, we need to submit. So yeah, hold on, don't go. Yeah, we are just 50 minutes into the workshop and we are almost done, right? Exactly. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. If you are still not able to kind of see that, then it's nice to kind of go ahead and troubleshoot it. Again, I mentioned we have the whole FAQ right here on the Discord server, and we also have a detailed FAQ review, which you can kind of do right there, right? So this is also, something which you might want to check it out once. Nice. So quick recap, what we learned. We learned about APIs, Postman, build request methods, um, documentation, authorization, variables, automation using scripting, and generating code snippets. Yeah, nice. Okay. So, final 1% step is to kind of submit our collection. Remember, the request should be in the exact same order. Let's go ahead and let's hit that submit. Again, a video of me inside a video of me. Let me, go ahead and hit that submission request. So for the final check, make sure all the tests are passing. If they are not passing, or someone says 27 or 28 in the chat, no worries, buddy. Read the error message. It has actually, the outcome as well. So yeah, it might actually help you to solve the error itself. Okay, let's go to submit, and here you can see there is a URL added. Click on body, and the body, we need to add body is empty right now. So what we need to do is we need to go here and copy this body from submit your collection request. Scroll down a little, copy this particular body and paste it right there, right? Save this, Control S, save this and send this. Now, if you go ahead and send it, it will actually give you congratulations and your lesson is marked as completed. You can see that this is locked, right? So it will not move next unless and until you see this congratulations button. So let's refresh this, and the next button is unlocked. Are you done? Give me a thumbs up if done. Easy. This is easy peasy, nothing crazy. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Again, not done yet. We still have not got the badge. So let's go to next and let's get the badge. Now for getting the badge, what we need to do is we need to add our JSON collection URL right here. Where do we find it? We have already seen it earlier, right? So go to Postman Library API v2, click on this three dots, click on share via API. You have already generated a token, so you just need to copy the URL. Again, showing everyone once again, go to Postman Library API v2, click on these three dots and click on the share button. Now inside share, obviously via API, and then copy the URL. Yes. Let's delete all these drawings, come back to Academy, paste that URL right here and hit on claim badge. Now, if you give it the wrong URL, it will give you errors, obviously, because, yeah. But if it doesn't, then in that case, that will be, a problem. Okay. We have got the badge, as you can see. Claim your badge. We have got the badge. You can verify the badge has been awarded to you using the same email ID. Now, this is the time for congratulations because you have actually, got the badge, right? So yeah, I'm giving you a congratulations emoji. Congratulations to everyone who completed the certification with me. Now, I see a lot of questions about, when will I get the badge? What is the certificate? So let me quickly share my screen once again and show you all of this. So firstly, you will get an email as soon as you complete the certification. You can see that congratulations, you earned the certification. Remember, it sometimes takes time to send you this. It might take up to 48 hours sometimes to receive this email. Okay. Sometimes it's instant, sometimes it takes time. But the badge is awarded instantly. Okay. So how do you check if your badge is awarded or not? If you go here on Academy, you can see the Canvas backpack, click on it, and it will open like a new tab, obviously. And you can log in with your email ID and password, or you can also log in using Google Sign In, right? Let me show you that. So open Canvas backpack in a new tab. Here you can see log in using Google, simplest way. And once you log in, you will actually be able to see this new badge, which is awarded today, right? Nice. Now, you can share this badge obviously using the URL. You can also choose to hide your email ID, which is also nice. But a lot of people ask me how to download the certificate because this is a badge. Like if you copy this URL and if you open this in a new tab, it's nothing but a badge. Yeah, you can see this is the badge and I can verify it basically. But how do I actually get the certificate? So click on these three dots and click on print certificate. Now, if you click on print certificate, you will actually be able to see the certificate and you can actually print it and use it for your use case, obviously. So yeah, remember that's how you download the certificate. And don't forget to fill out the feedback form. Feedback allows us to make these sessions interactive and help us to actually do everything. So make sure you go ahead and take the survey. And if you loved my teaching, mention that there. Now, I told you to stay till the end so that I'm going to show you, a swag challenge. And yes, I did not lie about it. But before that, remember to connect with me. If you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn. I use all these three platforms in complete diversity. On LinkedIn, I'll actually write a lot. I actually, post 3 times in a week. So I share a lot of content there. So if you're interested in learning new things, LinkedIn is where, you should follow me. If you are into reels and I'm starting to create content, so yeah, Instagram. Again, it's very uncasual, so you don't expect to hear a lot of yarn there. Twitter, only rants. If you want to see my rants, then you follow me on Twitter. Okay, so you can see that the social media challenge has ended, but we have student expert challenge which will end in 15 days. We'll update the date here so that you can see it later on. But it will end somewhat in 15 days. Okay, so keep a watch here. Now, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and share about whatever you learned during this workshop, right? And use these hashtags and make sure to add your certification link. Very, very important. Okay, and submit this form so that we can accept your submission and reach out to you if you are a winner. We will update again the winners in the sheet itself. We will reach out to winners via email. In after the winners are announced, obviously we take like 2 weeks for processing. For social media winners, I see a lot of queries. When will you get your swag? In around 60 days, let's be realistic. I'm going to email you, within the next 2 weeks, and you will, fill out the form and, we'll ship the swags to you. For the expert challenge again, we are giving away multiple kits, so it has like more items than the social media swag. So yeah, you can kind of go ahead and participate there, and share about what you learned and participate in the giveaway. We also have a giveaway of Postman Premium, which is as a shared. It is given access as a shared workspace with Let's Upgrade. So you'll be added in their account, and you will be actually be able to use Postman Education license for 6 months. Now, this is the biggest perk I'll say, and it is given to first 100 people. You can be part of this first 100 people, right? So go ahead, quickly complete it, and make sure you are submitting that, right here. Apart from that, you can actually see, more, amazing, like obviously the winners of 6 month premium is also announced here. But if you go down here, you can actually see people winning like what? Amazon Echoes, smart watches, and whatnot, which is crazy just for completing a certification. Thanks to Let's Upgrade for doing all these giveaways, right? Postman side, we are also giving you, some t-shirts and some zippers and some, swags as mentioned here. So participate in our giveaways also. So that's nice. I hope all your doubts are clear and I hope you're certified. In case you still have some doubts, if you still want some support, feel free to reach out on Discord. Feel free to reach out to Let's Upgrade's WhatsApp channel, and they'll be more than happy to assist you to solve all your errors. Thank you once again, for coming to this workshop. I really enjoyed teaching you all, and I hope you enjoyed learning. So yeah, thank you so much and see ya. Happy to connect with you. Make sure if you are sending me a request on LinkedIn, you're mentioning, about that you participated in this workshop, because I just received tons of requests on LinkedIn and it is very tiring to look at all of them. So it's a default accept if you add a note. So please add a note if you want to get accepted. So yeah, see you folks. Have a great evening and, catch you up later on. Bye bye.